Hey y'all, welcome back to Back Roads and Barking Dogs. I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're driving down a country road, folding laundry, or listening with a dog somewhere in the background, you're right where you're supposed to be. And today, we're talking about something that has been on my heart for a while. The long way isn't the wrong way. You ever notice how everybody loves the highway? It's fast, it's efficient, it gets you where you're going quickly. No stops, no surprises, no bumps. But back roads are slower. They twist, they turn. Sometimes they don't even look like they're going the right direction. And if you're not careful, you'll think you're lost. Kind of like when you're falling down in the sunk lands. Everybody knows how that goes around here. But life feels like that sometimes. We all start out thinking we're taking the straight highway. We've got the plan. We've got the timeline. We know how it's supposed to go. And then suddenly, boom, there's a detour. Something changes. A door closes. A relationship shifts. A season stretches longer than you thought it would. And you look around and think, this is not the road I planned to be on. I think one of the hardest feelings in life is feeling behind. Like everyone else is speeding past you on the highway and you're stuck on some dusty back road wondering when it's your turn. But here's what I've learned. The back roads show you things the highway never will. On the highway, you miss the small towns. You miss the fields. You miss the sunsets that take your breath away. You don't notice the details because you're moving too fast. And I think sometimes God slows us down on purpose. Not to punish us, not because we failed, but because there are things we need to see. There are things we need to build inside of us. I've had seasons in my life where I thought, why is this taking so long? Why isn't this working out yet? Why does it feel like I'm stuck? Why does everyone else seem ahead? And looking back now, I can see it so clearly. If I had gotten where I wanted to go faster, I wouldn't have been ready for it. The long road built patience in me. It built strength. It built disconcernment. It built boundaries I didn't know I needed. It built resilience. And none of that would have happened on the fast track. There's something about slow seasons that feel uncomfortable. We don't like quiet. We don't like waiting. We don't like not knowing. But growth is quiet most of the time. Roots grow underground where nobody can see them. And just because you can't see growth doesn't mean it's not happening. Maybe you're in a season right now that feels slow. Maybe you're healing. Maybe you're rebuilding. Maybe you're starting over. Maybe you're watching other people move forward while you feel parked. I want you to hear this. Slower does not mean stuck. Delayed does not mean denied. Different does not mean wrong. Even animals teach us that. A dog doesn't rush loyalty. It builds trust over time. Consistency, presence, showing up again and again. That kind of depth doesn't happen fast. It happens slow. And it lasts longer because of it. I think sometimes we measure our lives by speed. How fast we achieve something. How quickly we bounce back. How soon we figure it out. But what if the goal isn't speed? What if the goal is strength? What if the goal is depth? What if the goal is becoming the kind of person who can handle what they're praying for? That kind of becoming doesn't happen on the highway. It happens on the back roads. Let's say that again. It happens on the back roads. If you feel behind right now, you're not behind. If your life looks different than you imagined, that doesn't mean it's wrong. If you're taking the long way, maybe it's shaping you in ways you can't see yet. Some of the most beautiful views are found off the main road. And sometimes the scenic route becomes the story you're most proud of later. So maybe today, instead of fighting the slow season, you breathe in, you look around, you trust that the road you're on is doing something inside of you. You trust that growth doesn't have to be loud to be powerful. And you trust that just because it's taking longer doesn't mean you took a wrong turn. Sometimes the long way builds stronger roots. Sometimes the back road protects you from what the highway would have rushed you into. And sometimes the long way becomes the better way. Thank you for riding this road with me today. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. And as always, keep your heart open, your tea cold, and don't mind the barking dogs.